ever changing.
Do you think I would have just forgotten to mention that?
Does it hurt?
It feels good, damn it. Did you say spirit earlier? Like my stuffed fox spirit?
Yeah, but no, not like your spirit.
Look at me, Parker. My life is over.
I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. We'll get this figured out.
My job? My mom?
I think this spirit can help us. He said to meet him in the caves and that he'd leave us a map.
Peter!
Parker.
Sure! That was quite the entrance you made there. Oh, and your foxy fiancé!
Isla Grace.
Fantastic!
Your spirit?
The one and only! Well, no, that's not true, of course. Your stuffed animal. Yeah, about that. That's what we refer to as bleed through.
Bleed through?
No, that's too far ahead. We need to start simple. What if I were to tell you this isn't technically a cave?
It looks like the cave to me.
Are either of you afraid of heights?
No.
Yeah, a little.
Well, you will be. Welcome to the fourth dimension. Oh, sorry. There's no danger of you falling. There's actually a barrier all around us. You just can't see it. It'll make more sense once I explain. On second thought, it probably won't. But trust me, you're safe. So, you're a physical education teacher, right, Pecker?
It's Parker. And I'm a physics professor.
That's not the same thing? That sounds like the exact same thing to me. Anywho, flatland. You know about the concept of flatland, right? A two-dimensional world where the inhabitants have no concept of up or down. Their entire life exists on what is basically the surface of a sheet of paper. It's pretty much the same for you. Just one level up.
So that doorway...
Okay, so flatland doesn't need to be flat. It could look like a crumpled up sheet of paper. But since the residents of Flatland can't perceive up and down, there's no frame of reference. They never leave the surface and can't even conceive of another dimension beyond theirs.
And our world?
It's as warped as my sense of humor, dear boy. And just like that Flatland piece of paper may sometimes interact with objects in the third dimension, such is the case with your world.
So that doorway was...
A hot spot. Yes.
And what is this? It looks like a galaxy or maybe a model of an atom.
I was going to say Pokeball.
What do you use it for?
Well, that's sort of like asking what people use a computer for.
So...
Yeah, there's a lot of that. I'm really not sure how to explain its use to you, though. Honestly, how well could you explain the use of a computer to, say, Genghis Khan? Or perhaps a less insulting comparison for you, Socrates. There's a similar leap in technology involved here. You make a phenomenally fetching fox, by the way. Have you been able to see yourself yet?
Only reflected in the side of the car.
Well, here you go. It's just like when the Beatles visited Madame Tussauds. You're lucky, you know. Not everyone gets the opportunity for such a clear view of their own tail end.
Am I stuck like this?
Stuck like this? You've been given the most wonderful gift in all the world. You've traded in your pink skin, dull nails and teeth, and tiny little round ears for a cornucopia of vastly improved traits. Stuck like this. Tell me, what could you possibly miss about that body of yours?
Opposable thumbs?
Tell me, what else could you possibly miss about that body of yours?
Well,
I'll grant you the opposable thumbs thing. That's a pretty big one. And no, you're not stuck like this.
did you do this to me?
Of course not. If you want to be more accurate, though, then yes. But let's not bicker and argue over who foxed who.
But how?
Well, it's rather simple in theory. You see, the atoms in your body are constantly in a cycle of being replaced and repaired. In fact, the overwhelming majority of what makes up your body is completely different from what was there just 1 year ago. New atoms are programmed based on the instructions present in your DNA.
So I have new instructions now?
Not new, per se. More of an addendum to the Legos! Everybody loves the Legos. You know those 3-in-1 Lego sets where you can make a car, a plane, and a boat using the same set of pieces? It's kind of like that.
Was I born this way?
That's complicated. The pages were there, but the additional instructions hadn't been written yet.
The ring.
Yep. Well, actually, it was a little piece of me within the ring. The ring itself is worthless. I got it from a Cracker Jack box.
Really?
No, it actually came from the island of Mauritius when it was under control by the Dutch East India Company. Mid-17th century, probably. It made its way over to America via Portuguese sailors later that century. So it's probably quite valuable, come to think of it.
But why?
Well, it's hundreds of years old for a start.
No, why am I a fox?
I suppose that would be the more pressing issue for you right now. But the Portuguese thing is very fascinating. And quite frankly, the why is well above my pay grade. It will be answered in time, though.
So, how do I...
Defoxify?
Yeah,
Ah, the eternal question.
this has happened before.
Nah.
This might sound like a weird question, Spirit, but I swear I heard Isla Grace singing earlier. Like she was in a musical or something. She swears she wasn't, though.
Well, that is a weird question, Parker, as it didn't even include a question mark. But it's good to know, as it sort of confirms your abilities beyond just being able to see and hear me.
Abilities?
Flatland, my pale pal. If you're a three-dimensional being looking down on a two-dimensional being in Flatland, you can see things they can't. You're seeing things others can't.
Am I,
A four-dimensional being? You make me laugh, silly man. But you do have some abilities that others of your ilk do not possess. Dreaming about your girl for years and years before ever meeting her, for instance. And experiencing her singing a Disney-style princess song when she did no such thing.
Disney princess.
You had that thought, didn't you?
I was scared and ran away from the campsite. I felt like Elsa running away from her powers in Frozen. Then I remembered I looked like a fox and...
Let me guess. It was more than you could bear? I warned you about my sense of humor.
so she didn't sing, but...
Yes, it's like your dreams of her. Figment would be much better able to explain it than I.
Figment?
I'm not the only adorable woodland creature who's been tinkering around with your lives. Wait, is Figment a woodland creature? I think so. Technically.
What the?
Spirit.
Hello, Miss Syzygy! What are they up to now, my dear?
Get out of there now.
Okay, what about, Marker and Smiley Face here?
All of you, now. Iklar is coming.
What's,
Fikmal Iklar. He's a weapon. But that's not important right now. We can reschedule this giant exposition dump for later. We have to go. Now. Focus, Palmer. Please hold all questions until after our chase with the interdimensional bounty hunter comes to a full and complete stop. We appreciate you choosing Spirit for the safest and most comfortable way to travel. Don't worry, you two. I do this all the time. There's a portal about 300 yards ahead of us. It'll lead you right back where you came from.
Isla Grace!
I'm okay. No, I'm not.
Isla,